Well, fortunately, you know, being in this game for so long, like 40 years or something like that, I photographed, you know, Drew Brees and Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt and Mark Wahlberg and Sandra Bullock and, you know, just a lot of Chris Pine, just a lot of movie stars and TV stars and Whoopi Goldberg and Barbara Walters. I mean, it's a while, but when I was young, and I think this is important to remember for everybody joining FGI, is I was very young and I had the opportunity to photograph Ethel Merman, and she was, for those who don't know, I mean, she was the queen of Broadway. Never missed a performance. Every show she was in was a hit. Gershwin wrote for her. The Gershwin brothers wrote for her. Sondheim wrote for her. I mean, she was the top. And so, being young, do interesting things like both backstage to go talk to, and I went back, not really expecting to talk to Ethel Merman, but she was walking, and she was walking with two guards. And I said, "Miss Merman, I need to talk to your manager." And she stopped the guards, and she said, and she smiled and looked at me, and she said, "I am my own manager. What do you need?" And I said, "Well, I just wanted you to know that I'll be out there photographing you. I'm your photographer, and, you know, not throw a shoe at me or something. I'm going to be out there, but I'm not going to use a flash." She said, "I don't care if you use a flash." She said, "Just don't shoot me from under the stage. Everyone says they won't," and then I see my chin's in the paper the next day. So then, and there was, you know, she was in this wild, like, moo kind of cool Endora dress, you know, and she went into her dressing room. She was walking rather slow, saving her energy. She put like a can of All-Net in her hair. And then the door closed, and then and she was in her 70s. And then this like 35-year-old woman came out on stage when the orchestra hit up, and she came out dancing in a fabulous blue short dress with great legs, singing and dancing across the stage in front of a full orchestra with no microphone. And she was just, I mean, she was just still the most unbelievable performer. In fact, to this day, it was the most fans I've ever seen wait for a star. And it was wild because the line had, I mean, they had Ethel Merman dolls, they had Ethel Merman lamps. I didn't know they had all this kind of, I mean, they had Ethel Merman records. She had done an autobiography, which was hilarious. People had her book, they had sheet music, and they had albums, and she had done a disco album, which was pretty wild, and people had that, and I mean, just it was wild. I wish I had photographed the line of people with these things. They were, I mean, some of these things were huge. That they were, I mean, I don't know if they were sitting in the audience with it or whatever, but she signed everyone, talked to everyone, and it was the most. And then she invited me into her dressing room after, and we talked. And she asked me if, and I photographed her in the dressing room, and she asked me, what did I want her to do? And I was like, whatever you want is fine. I was so young, and I remember leaving there, and I think she validated me. And from then on, I think that I wasn't afraid of performers anymore, you know, and because my teacher had said, "You're working, they're working, you know, don't compliment them until after you shoot them." So I would have to say, you know, I mean, they've all been exciting, you know, Gorbachev and presidents and everything, but I think being able to spend time with Ethel Merman like that at that age and was just, I remember just feeling proud when I left that shoot.